We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
Lil Durk's real name is Durk Bank, and he is from Chicago. This is his mugshot from Florida, where he was arrested last night.
Warrant has been issued for South Florida rapper Kodak Black. Officials say Bill Capri, better known as Kodak Black, violated the conditions of his pre-trial release.
The barrage of sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon.
There is currently 15 rappers sitting in prison that you have forgotten about, just like YNW Melly, who will be sitting in prison for the rest of his life after his best friend just snitched on him.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was 2 friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
Like, they raid your crib, and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
After new evidence was found against Melly in Bortlen's crib, his release date was announced. This will also result in YNW Bortlen being tried with Melly in the upcoming trial in September.
Mr. Henry is going to remain set for trial September the 10th at 9 o'clock with Mr. Demmons, pending whatever future motion that I may hear. I'm in another capital case right now. I have 4 hearing dates left available between now and September the 10th. I gave the parties those 4 dates, and I'm holding all of those dates and times open only for these 2 defendants. So anything that you need me for, okay? Yes, sir.
As the news wrote, at the beginning of Wednesday's hearing, Judge Martin Feen to Bortlen's attorney said, so Mr. Haddad, for the time being, Mr. Henry is going to remain set for trial on September 10th with YNW Melly. Having it with YNW Melly couldn't be worse for him. They're trying them together to make Bortlen snitch against Melly for one specific reason. While Melly's been sitting in jail for 7 years, YNW Bortlen has been released on a bond. However, he was just arrested for very incriminating evidence that was found inside his home, which will force him to snitch.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with a witness.
As it was then shared, here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of YNW Bortlen's home last week, as filed into the Broward clerks. As in these photos, YNW Bortlen drew on a piece of paper where certain jurors were sitting with a description of what they looked like, as it looked like he was getting ready to slide for Melly if these jurors found Melly guilty in that first trial.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
With the prosecutors having this against Bortlen, the news then wrote, a no communication order has been filed in the YNW Melly trial. The order makes Melly and Bortlen completely separate, no talking, no lawyer talk, just silence, as this will just ensure that YNW Bortlen will snitch on Melly in the upcoming trial.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once. And also, you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way, they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase, it's the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
It's common sense. If YNW Bortlen knows he didn't commit this serious crime, he won't physically be able to just sit there and take life in prison to the chin. This makes it very likely he'll then point the finger against Melly, because it's also very important to remember YNW Melly tried doing this to YNW Bortlen in the first trial. The only reason he was given a mistrial is because of what Melly's lawyers did the first trial when they tried pinning it against Bortlen.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
As that is Melly's own lawyer revealing to the jury that it was YNW Bortlen that was lying to the feds and that he was the one with powder residue on his hands, while also mentioning he was the last one with Juvie and Sack Chaser when they passed. So this isn't fair for YNW Bortlen. He should be allowed to make his case, which is why they're trying them together. They even went as far as to bringing a forensic scientist that covered the passings to go into further detail of Bortlen having powder residue on his hands.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of powder residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of powder residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was powder residue present on the hands.
Were you maybe wondering, what did YNW Bortlen think of all this? Well, when Melly's mistrial was granted, a report shared, YNW Bortlen tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared. The tweet read, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji as if he's accepting some sort of deal. Melly and Bortlen have not talked since this occurred. Bortlen also hasn't used social media either, which makes it very obvious his decision. With this in mind, when it was announced they would be tried together, YNW Melly looked extremely angry and broke down. He visibly yelled at his lawyers. The news wrote, "Today's hearing marks the first time YNW Melly publicly went against his legal team's advisement in open court," as Melly was seen yelling at his lawyer.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You objected to their request for me to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes, sir.
As on top of the Bortlen situation, the prosecutors also want to use new evidence against Melly, which relates to his gang association. One piece of evidence they want to bring in for the upcoming trial is a Facebook post of Melly with Young Thug. They're trying to claim that Melly is a part of the Red Street team, just like Young Thug is.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Okay, and see the individuals again. I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
As when Melly was yelling at his lawyers, people inside of the courtroom overheard the conversation and said Melly said, in quote, "I don't care, I'm not in no gang, they can't prove it."
I'm aware that 924-071 calls for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravated that to the death penalty, aggravated that to the gang enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the furtherance of the gang, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
Now, the reason Melly doesn't care if the evidence is included is because if his lawyers get that evidence thrown out, this comes alongside a lot of paperwork. The paperwork is so deep, it will make the trial begin in 2027. This means Melly will have been sitting in jail for 9 years before ever being convicted.
I do find this case to be under the most compelling circumstances. Mr. Demons, as I sit here today, has been in custody for 2,339 days. Besides Mr. Demons' cases, which I've removed, this division currently has 38 other cases, special set for trial. 22 of those are cases. Numerous of those are death cases. And right now, this division has trial special set in December of 2026.
But the state, they want the trial delayed once again. They want to try to bring in the most evidence they can to ensure Melly will be sentenced to life in prison at the next trial.
And finally, Judge, just so, again, the record's clear, what this, given Judge Murphy's order, and there would be an intent to comply with it, what the court is compelling the state to do is to go forward with evidence that has been suppressed. In other words, we would not be able to use that evidence.
You can't.
Right.
It's suppressed. That's exactly correct.
As of now, the attorneys could go to the appellant court and request that they issue a stay or place a hold on the trial, and that seems to be the only way that this trial does not move forward on the scheduled date. So if that doesn't happen, Melly trial number 2 will begin in about 2 months.
At the end of this massive court day, YNW Melly's mother would go on Instagram Live and share the final decision of when trial will begin.
Basically what happened today is the judge has said we are not delaying trial. We will be going to trial September 10th, even though there's things that's up with the 4th DCA that has been ruled to be suppressed and not able to be used in the upcoming trial. The judge is just upholding those orders. So therefore, all of the, basically what was up on appeal was all of that stuff, what they were using as an enhancer in order to get the death penalty qualified. The judge ordered all of that to be suppressed. So moving forward onto the new trial, the state will not be able to bring in that evidence.
As at the end of the court hearing, Melly's lawyers would ask for a bond release until September. But sadly, the news wrote, YNW Melly's reaction after not receiving a bond for the Double M case, he's been in jail for 2,320 days without a guilty verdict, as he would be denied for one concerning factor: the arrival of his ex-girlfriend named Mariah Hamilton. What the prosecutors did make many believe the Florida court system is corrupt. They made a deal with Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah, who has been hiding out of the United States since before Melly's original trial. She was supposed to testify against Melly in the first trial, but allegedly Melly paid her a lot of money to leave the United States.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
As Mariah has been out of the United States now for several years, she wanted to return home to see some family that she hasn't seen in a very long time, but she has had a warrant for her arrest the entire time. No one knew where she was. So when she returned to the US, she was immediately arrested in the airport upon arrival. She had a very hard time inside a jail, which is why at her first court hearing, the judge made her a deal, saying if you agree to testify against Melly, you're free to go. Now, she accepted this instantly. She was out of jail within 20 minutes, which is terrible news for YNW Melly because she knows everything about Melly's life. When she was released, she wrote on Facebook, "And to my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." Now, why it's very concerning is because on Mariah's iCloud account, there is literal evidence of Melly forcing her to not testify in the trial. This is known as witness tampering. It carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually took out Sack Chaser and Juvie. All she has to do is confirm Melly sent the messages.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The witness tampering case will be separate from his existing case of Sack Chaser and Juvie's passing. Now, this is a true possibility. Melly can beat the case of Sack Chaser and Juvie's passing, but if he is found guilty of witness tampering, he will still serve life inside a prison. As the concerning part is, the feds have the evidence and it's confirmed. They've been keeping Melly off of the jail phones for over a year now. It got so bad, Melly's mother, Jamie King, even did an interview exposing the county jail for not allowing Melly to use a phone.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
The feds wouldn't be keeping Melly off of the jail phones if it was just a hunch he used it for witness tampering. They have the evidence stored away, because if they were keeping him off without the evidence, it would result in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And the feds, they don't play those games. Having Mariah Hamilton on their side, alongside YNW Bortlen, will sentence Melly to life in prison. But having Bortlen particularly answers one very important question, and let me explain, which is, what is the context of what happened 5 hours after the crime occurred? Where it was announced, the prosecutors updated the evidence against Melly. He didn't know he was filmed admitting to the passing of Juvie and Sack Chaser. This will end bad, as only a few hours after the crime, Melly sent a text message literally saying, "I did that."
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time, the YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
While at the exact same hour, Melly was filmed dancing in a parking lot with YNW Bortlen 5 hours after the crime occurred, like nothing even happened.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Showing not even an ounce of sadness for the passing of their two best friends. But without his acknowledgement once again, he was filmed 30 minutes before the crime, where he was seen exiting the studio, sitting directly in the back left seat of the Jeep, getting ready for Sack Chaser, Juvie, and Bortlen to get in.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
Why it is so important is because the official court document reads, the direction of bullets traveling left to right in the car supports the claim that they originated from the back left seat, where YNW Melly was positioned, as we even saw YNW Juvie's mother confirm he was sitting there.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
While everyone saw YNW Melly sit in the back left seat, he mysteriously didn't even go to the hospital with his two best friends. Instead, he was picked up on the side of the road by fellow rapper Fredo Bang.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Gibbons. Frederick Gibbons is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Gibbons, then, about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Demons has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone call.
Which is very important because the prosecutors are going to use this against YNW Melly, as when Bortlen did his interrogation on the night of the crime, he didn't say a word about Fredo Bang.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music, getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, almost home, you know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car, and I almost crashed.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to here to
75.
Expressway.
Then you took 75 south?
As it's very clear to officers, Bortlen's story didn't add up to anything. Bortlen's trying to stay confident, however, but his story just isn't making sense, as he would get caught up in his lie.
Here's the hard part where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area, and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass, nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up, and it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's the class.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like,
these your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah, we got.
And you're doing them an inservice by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, sir. I don't like. How? What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
The interrogation would go south from here. Bortlen would begin getting angry as the officers aren't fully believing his story about the crime.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, cause I told y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay, just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. There's, and we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.
Now, commonly, when the criminal hits this point of the interrogation, where he doesn't want to talk and it goes south, it's the officer's job to reset the playing field. The goal is to ask as many questions as you can, hoping either the criminal will mix up his story and share different details than what he originally said, or accidentally say too much, which is why the police officer would then just want simple details of the in-the-moment actions that were made during the drive-by.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
As with time running out in their allowed interrogation time, the officer would flat out ask, if you know who did this, would you tell me?
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. the truth? You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't want to be.
But comment down below whether or not you believe Melly is guilty, and if you like at least Melly's music, leave a like on the video. However, Lil Durk will also be sitting in prison for the rest of his life because today marks the end of Lil Durk. It was just announced Chicago rapper Lil Durk's sister-in-law calls King Von's cousin OTF Vonnie a rat and a snitch in the M for Hire Fed case. In an IG post, as in the court today, his file was updated, showing that he's no longer in the Bureau of Prisons custody, which means that he has now been released from jail, likely on a house arrest. OTF Vonnie would then get his hands on a cell phone, where he would text somebody very close to him, but that person then flipped on Vonnie for snitching and he leaked everything. OTF Vonnie texted, "Yeah, I'm trying to plea out on a 32, which is the base for an M for Hire. Max is 43, which is life, but I would get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for an early plea, -2 points for no background, so I'll then have 27 points, which is only 5 to 7 years. It's better than that because I can't go to trial. I might get an elbow. I don't want them to do me like them other boys." When saying he doesn't want to get got like the other boys, he's actually referring to OTF Jam, who also snitched on Lil Durk, but more on what happened to him later. However, I was able to find the answer as to why OTF snitched on Durk, and let me explain. In OTF, there is 3 main guys left, being Lil Durk, OTF Vonnie, and OTF Diddy. It was announced this new Lil Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Lil Durk and OTF members have now changed the case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal, which raises the question of who is Lil Ted and what did he say to the feds? Lil Ted is known as OTF Diddy's brother, who is also related to OTF Vonnie, which those two are the 2 main OTF guys alongside Durk. So when Lil Ted was arrested by police at a local convenience store, he had a firearm in his jeans pocket, which is a serious crime, but it also played out perfectly for Vonnie and Diddy.
Really? Dude had a. What about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
With Lil Ted now being arrested, alongside Vonnie and Diddy already in prison with Durk, they would all gang up against Durk, take family ties to a new level, and snitch out. Because when Lil Ted was being driven to the police station, even before he got inside, he had tears coming down his face as he told police, "I swear I'll tell y'all about the passings," hoping not to be placed into jail, but he was already too late for him.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Being placed into the waiting cell, Lil Ted is seen crying his eyes out, wanting nothing more to just snitch on the gang members he knows in OTF and be taken out of jail to go home.
Wait, hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me no, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
Out of the 3, Lil Ted was the first one in court paperwork to start snitching in the OTF case. So when there was news of someone snitching with the family's last name in the court paperwork, everyone believed that it was OTF Diddy, but in reality, it was actually his younger brother. But now, with Diddy and Vonnie snitching out, it realistically happened due to their mothers and family sitting them down and convincing them to not throw away their own lives, which is very common in a situation like this. As with them having family ties for their entire lives, the police knew that. They likely got them all in one room together just to all flip on Lil Durk. As while they're snitching out, making their own situation better, Lil Durk is going through it. In case you missed it, the news wrote, Chicago rapper Lil Durk was involved in an altercation inside a jail this morning. This resulted in Lil Baby tweeting, "I don't care about nothing else other than Durk right now, free the bro," as the entire world was trying to figure out what happened to Lil Durk, but it all began with a tweet of, "Lil Durk's day one homie Gleesh passed away last night in Chicago, meaning this is now several OTF members that have been targeted, which raises the question of who would want revenge against OTF. This is when fans noticed the same day OTF members were being dealt with, Quando Rondo and Lil Tim did separate interviews, but they were released on the exact same day. Many look at it as a weird coincidence, but others believe that it was a way for the feds to not investigate them for putting a hit out on Lil Durk, using it as a good alibi. As Lil Tim said,
"No, like shit, I was just protecting my little brother."
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f***ing shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
As Quando Rondo even said the exact same thing, saying that he wishes it was handled a different way.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like, they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Two ops of Lil Durk both doing an interview on the same day, praising Lil Durk and wishing things were handled a different way. This definitely did not seem suspicious, but many believe they acted fast on Lil Durk because he was just about to be released from jail. To understand when his release date is, it's important to know the news of words from Durk's father have Lil Durk being released on a bond. With this being his third attempt, his lawyers made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you, and inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
As the prosecutors dropped evidence against Lil Durk, which resulted in him having a release date. The news wrote, today Lil Durk's court hearing had the prosecutors telling the judge they are willingly throwing away evidence against Durk, while reading it out loud during his court hearing in front of everyone. I wonder how this will affect the rest of his bond hearing, as the prosecutors announced they dropped the evidence against Durk, which is great news, but the way they did it was so corrupt. They would stand up in front of the judge and announce, we are dropping this evidence. As the lyrics go, told me they got an Addy go, got location go, look on the news, see your son screaming no, no, while then playing on the projector screen the news clip of Quando Rondo screaming no on the sidewalk.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Which is a very corrupt and wrong way of dropping evidence, as yes, the evidence being dropped is great, but the judge is gonna have this in the back of his head when deciding if Durk should get a bond or not. This even resulted in Charleston White saying,
this is a real victory. Now that demonic force was a dark force. It was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
As with Charleston White not liking the idea of Durk coming out, Durk's lawyer, Drew Finling, would reveal his release date, giving detail on the prosecutors ruining their own case.
The other allegation they backed away from, which is huge, it shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
As he mentioned, the case is getting weaker for the prosecutors, who can now no longer use Durk's lyrics. This resulted in Durk's lawyer calling the charges a joke. The feds only had lyric-based evidence against him, but now they're not even using it.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Act. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
While Drew was doing interviews, waiting for the judge's decision, 1 week later, he would finally decide. Durk would be seen entering the courtroom. As the news read, the feds say Lil Durk would need to go completely broke and give up all of his property to be granted a bond. They fear he might use his fortune to place bounties on witnesses.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is, under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
As with the feds afraid Durk might go after witnesses, it seemed like he already did. And it's what happened to OTF Jam that OTF Vonnie wants to avoid at all costs. It was announced, has anyone heard from OTF Jam after he snitched on Durk? Several OTF members are gone, but low-key he has been gone for months, as he was outed for being a snitch on DJ Vlad's show against Lil Durk.
There's a guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam
now he put everyone in the jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case. But eventually he flipped.
As once this hit news headlines, the news read, OTF Jam was found by OTF members hiding out in a crib outside of Atlanta. Sources claim Jam was dealt a punishment for snitching on OTF owner Lil Durk, alongside a photo of a crime scene outside of a house Jam was staying at, where no one has heard from him since. But you may be wondering, what did Jam provide? It reads, over 230 gigs of digital evidence, which includes audio recordings, video surveillance, and 20,000 pages of reports, are being processed for discovery, as OTF Jam supplied them with that evidence. Where it would be this Instagram Live where Lil Durk first noticed that Jam was wearing a wire the entire time.
Hey, kid! Give me the check on your man. I heard you got his head. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I used to have a dare. Architect. Having a who? I'm having a dare. Schools out of.
As with the police revealing all of this evidence now in 2025, it answers what Lil Durk said in 2024 when he was on an interview with DJ Academics.
I see shit from a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I could have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your way is gonna cooperate.
As news outlets began saying, Lil Durk has been playing 3D chess the entire time. He knew OTF Jam was gonna cooperate, as Durk would later speak further on this, saying that he doesn't even allow his friends to know where he lives anymore. He gives no information to anyone. You can tell just how sad he is knowing Jam snitched.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be my best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
Promise. Like, it's people like that I just don't allow. I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, cause it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the. We're gonna have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the. You gotta watch.
Everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta. Everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, you go too. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like that's how I play. Like I don't play.
Now, OTF Jam is the same man Lil Durk gifted $50,000 to during this IG Live. However, the police saved this IG Live for one reason, and I want you to watch the people in the background.
What's name, bro? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk so baby mama get the tripping, bro.
See that?
Feed
For my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This too much. Crazy though. Sitting up there doing all this, sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do it. Whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof.
Bro got out what?
You know that
How many you did now?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah, that's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really just get in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
Now, the feds investigated those in the background of the IG Live. They noticed those same men were jewelry shopping with King Von, making it very clear they were all very close friends, and if anyone were want to get revenge for Von's passing, it would be these guys.
Solitary stone.
We just looked at him.
Let's go over there.
You got to what up, bro?
Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man stepped in.
With OTF Jam's snitching file now being released in the court system, academics would ask Durk's lawyer, would Lil Durk entertain a plea deal? Drew says no, we're going all the way for one reason.
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen like this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's gonna be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
They're going all the way for one specific reason. Durk's lawyers have been keeping this in their back pocket to win the case in the end, explaining that all Lil Durk does online and in music is express his First Amendment right.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is violent.
As it looks so good for Lil Durk, lawyers online are even saying he's gonna be released from jail just like Young Thug was.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we'd look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, and it typically is a rap song, Does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months before.
As he went on to explain how the prosecutors likely don't understand rap culture, saying that this happened in many cases, just like Young Thug's.
Yeah, and I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. You know, sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use of it.
But the feds do understand one thing about hip-hop. That is, everyone is connected in one way or another. This is why it's a massive coincidence that Bricc Baby was just arrested. The news wrote, prosecutors delayed Durk's chance of being released on bond to gather last-minute evidence against him for the next hearing. Chatter of a new snitch is going around the courtroom, which doesn't include OTF Jam. This is likely due to the arrest of Bricc Baby. Now, just a couple weeks ago, it was shared, Big U, Bricc Baby, Loose Cannon, and others were all arrested in a rolling 60s takedown, which is when it was shared. Lawyers and sources believe Bricc Baby, who was arrested in the latest takedown, will snitch against OTF rapper Lil Durk. The timings of both arrests make lawyers believe the feds can force Bricc Baby to give up everything on Durk. The feds originally only targeted Durk for M for Hire because of Bricc Baby. 3 years ago, he did a live stream saying you can't say Durk never slid for Vaughn because they got Lil Pap, literally snitching on Lil Durk. But once Durk was arrested, Bricc Baby just so happened to be live streaming, where he would then share his old interview where he mentioned it, making it look exactly like the reason federal attention began following Lil Durk.
This just said, 5 Chicago gang members with ties to Lil Durk, OTF, accused of being hired to alive Quando Rondo in the LA incidents where Lil Pop was unalive. Suspects face the penalty if convicted.
But was this an attempted hit? Or
Well,
they
can't say that no more.
Then they put you as
Why?
Like, who died?
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Federal charges in California.
Nah, because Lil Pop.
So this is about the...
Oh! What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
But did you know Bricc Baby also said something even worse? When the feds brought up Durk's lyrics of, told me they got an Addy go, got location go, they connected it to another Bricc Baby situation, which goes and reads, Bricc Baby says he would have dropped Quando Rondo's location if Durk had asked him because he's loyal to him, saying what the Addy was.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been coke if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd something.
Right.
With all of these people snitching against Lil Durk, do you believe Durk is going to get sentenced to prison or beat the case? However, the rap industry is very interesting. You can have millions of dollars, but still just go out and commit a serious crime just like Yungeen Ace.
Jacksonville rapper Yungeen Ace arrested by Jacksonville Beach police around midnight.
So Yungeen Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them.
Yeah, we good after that. We just gotta go to the back. He's gonna get the camera. We're gonna take a picture. Bring him back here real quick. Step back here.
Yeah, back behind.
Today, the news wrote, Jacksonville police investigating the new video evidence relating to Yungeen Ace paying for the hit of Foolio. Expect the rapper to be arrested for questioning soon. This has been in the works now for the last week, as Yungeen Ace was on live with his mother dissing Foolio.
These are my best friends.
Hey, chat, y'all know what's going on though. Y'all stop playing with us, Khalil. You ain't for churches, but you know what the fuck going on, boy, for get on your boy.
And we want to get that down Foolio, Ludio, what shit.
Chill. This made the police very upset, which made the Jacksonville News write, Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters sends a PSA to Yungeen Ace and his crew, ATK, after Foolio's hitters were caught.
So Yungeen Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation. That's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it. And that's for the betterment of our community.
As a part of the Yungeen Ace takedown, there was evidence leaked relating to Yungeen Ace not only being a part of Foolio's passing, but also an altercation with Foolio's mother. The news wrote, Foolio's mom says she was targeted 8 times and allegedly named Yungeen Ace as the culprit.
So now she's a mother. She's not involved. She was a nurse or whatever the case is. This is what I hear. She got 8 times. The police showed up and asked her, hey, ma'am, who shot you? Guess who she allegedly said her? Allegedly, she said, I got shot by Yungeen Ace. Yungeen Ace was on some type of supervised release at the time. Police go, I guess his probation officer say, yo, you got to come in now. And they're about to lock up Yungeen Ace for shooting Foolio's mom.
As with the police onto Yungeen Ace, he then made a terrible mistake. He would end his gang known as ATK. This could have resulted though in somebody snitching against him, which is why he closed it so abruptly. He tweeted, ain't no such thing as ATK no more. That stuff is gone and over with, as he would even record an Instagram video running away from the gang problem.
I say no more ATK, it ain't no more. What you talking about? Niggas don't do shit. Niggas don't do shit. Tripping. Everybody always got shit to say. These niggas. When the time for the Lord to be paid, where the niggas be at? Got all this shit to say. Where the niggas be at though? Niggas need to get buried. When the time to spend that money, where the niggas be? Always got shit to say, but don't be on shit, man. They don't get no feet wet or nothing, man. You niggas be talking, man. What's wrong with these, man? Talking about uncomfortable. Don't talk like me. Don't get the man. When I say no more ATK, ain't no more.
Which couldn't have been worse timing for Yungeen Ace. He's already being investigated for the passing of Foolio, then he closes ATK. That makes him look so suspicious, but it's what he did next, where he would speak on the passing of Foolio in a very mocking way, but then also trying to praise him.
What you think about Foolio thing, cuz? That's sad. Twin, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all boys in the street, y'all didn't leave the streets alone, twin. I'll condone this that, but y'all just gotta, it's so funny cause me, bro, like we cool, like we was cool and you feel me, me and him, like we cool. I was just, so funny, I was just talking to him, I'm like, bro, you gotta stop the way, bro, you know, love y'all here, like stop the way, real shit. Like, you know, I with your real shit, stop the way.
With this in mind, the police would then drop new evidence relating to Yungeen Ace paying the 5 hitmen. From Alicia, Isaiah, Sean Rashad, and Davion, the police are currently getting them to snitch on Yungeen Ace as they knew that he was the main kingpin. This was confirmed when the police announced that they have been canceling all of Yungeen Ace's concerts, which limits his business and income for lawyers in the future.
Jacksonville police and I don't know how they be doing it, but they always call around and cancel my shows. What's up with y'all? What's going on? Why y'all want to cancel my show? I don't even live there in Jacksonville. Why y'all want to cancel my? Why y'all trying to my money? Yeah, man, y'all trying to my life. Cause y'all worry about what I got going on. I ain't fucking with y'all. Y'all canceled all my shows, but I just had a show in Temple. Y'all got my show canceled in Temple. I had a show in Virginia. I called, got my show canceled up. I had a show in Gainesville. Y'all canceled my show in Gainesville before. Daytona. You feel me? Like, what's really going on?
As they began canceling his concerts for one specific reason, and it was due to a video that was leaked online. It was shared. Jacksonville rapper admits to targeting Foolio because Yungeen Ace put up $10,000 on his head.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the day homies, bro, I put it on everything on my soul, on my kids. I'm the one that smacked Foolio that night when he got at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face and give my identity away or nothing like that, but you know, I did that, you feel me? It was money on his head, you feel me? I rock with Ace and them boys, you feel me? ATK, you feel me? I be in Jacksonville heavy, you feel me? If you know, you know. But yeah, you feel me? I did that, you feel me? I handled that because, you know, Ace had that money on his head, you know. Ace had him put that 10K up. Told me to slide, told me to because, you know, he got tired of that nigga running his mouth playing all the time, you feel me? So what had to be done, you feel what I'm saying? So I just handled it, you feel me? It was what it is, bro.
As that same gang member would then even expose how Yungeen Ace wanted to get revenge against Foolio for when Foolio's team ambushed Yungeen Ace on his birthday a few years ago, where sadly his brother passed.
I'm trying to come for him. I'm trying to hold RJ. I'm trying to hold him. I'm trying to RJ open the door. I open the door, I'm pushing him out. I'm like, bro, I got you, bro. I got you. He grab a shirt. I'm like, bro, I can't move. He tell me he can't move. I jump out the car. Go open the door. Post it. Call everyone. Just call one.
As with Yungeen Ace getting snitched on for the motive to get Foolio, DJ Academics would tell Yungeen Ace on a public interview he's going to be next to be dealt with for what happened.
Whack 100 recently spoke about you and he says, you're next.
Why would you say that, bro? Why would you wish that for me?
Well, I don't know if he was wishing that. I think he's just thinking about, like, you know, in terms of, you know, people want to get the target, like the high profile target, and if Foolio is out the way, now they're like, well, the only way to make another thing is you.
Why wish that on me, bro? Man, bro, I've been living my whole life, twin. I'm letting you get up on. I'm not letting nobody get up on me, so I don't.
With his passing now, right? Does it mean that this whole situation is over?
There's never no situation.
As with all of this new evidence now being released in the Foolio case, the police submitted all of their evidence files to the court system to reopen it. I was able to find it, and in a new folder, they shared new evidence about Foolio's passing that no one even knows about. And let me explain it. It reads, Foolio, born June 21st, 1998, was involved in an ambushing by rival street members Sunday morning in Tampa. What was supposed to be a celebration weekend for his birthday ended up turning into the worst thing imaginable due to social media. Foolio and his crew rented an Airbnb for the weekend. Once arriving to the Airbnb, Foolio posted on his Instagram story the details.
Hey, the pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Foolio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man. It's up.
The party inside of the Airbnb only lasted 2 hours. Foolio would share the inside of the party. The police were able to find all the information, showing that there was drinks involved, sharing many women alongside Foolio the entire night. But this was the first mistake of many for Foolio, posting countless Instagram stories showing his ops everything he's doing, while also revealing if they were to run up on him, he would not be 100%. At this hour, the ops then all got together via an iMessage group chat, sharing back and forth all of the stories Foolio is posting, as everything worked into their favor when 1 hour later the police arrived to the Airbnb. They called the landlord of the home, who would eventually kick Foolio and his crew out of the Florida crib. Foolio again would go to his Instagram, posting his next move. This would be a poster for a nearby club. He would tell everybody to pull up while showing the literal address of the club on the poster, trying to break the record on social media for the most location drops to his ops in one weekend. Once arriving to the club, he would post to his Instagram again, this time sharing exactly where he was sitting inside of the club, saying he's going to the upstairs lounge.
We came deep for my birthday, man. Everybody coming up the stairs. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as 20 deep. lit everywhere we go.
According to police files, one of the hitmen actually posted this in the iMessage group chat with a reply of a laughing emoji. This gave them plenty of time to get together in the parking lot. They figured out a plan and scoped out the scene of where Foolio was. But taking action on the 23rd day of the month was very important to Yungeen Ace, but more on that later. When Foolio and his crew were done in the club, they gathered in the parking lot while his manager figured out a place to stay. They scoped out a nearby Holiday Inn down the street and they began driving down. When arriving to the Holiday Inn, sources claim everything was silent. This was, however, until 4 cars filled to the brim with rival street members all began driving down the street. 2 vehicles drove directly into the parking lot while the other 2 stayed on the outside. The 2 on the outside had 4 people in the vehicle. They would hop out, hop the bush, and their main job was to locate Julio Foolio and do the crime against Foolio. Now, this was a clear retaliation against Julio. This was because it was on the 23rd day of the month. Julio Foolio dropped a hit track titled When I See You. He made fun of Yungeen Ace for losing his brother that I mentioned earlier, as in the lyrics Foolio rap, went out to eat on his birthday, 4 hit, 3 passed in the worst way. He kept dissing on me, and now we hit in 23, with Yungeen Ace's brother's nickname being 23. He got ran up on his birthday while driving home with Yungeen Ace and 2 other people. Yungeen Ace was the only person to survive inside of the vehicle. But now in the present day, Yungeen Ace got his revenge against Foolio, committing the exact same crime. But what makes it very obvious that it was Yungeen Ace is it was announced right after Foolio passed. Yungeen Ace dropped Do It, a direct diss track at Julio Foolio after his passing earlier today. In that song, Yungeen Ace would rap the lyrics, 4 in the car, 1 them gone, 3 got hit, recreating Foolio's lyrics against him, further proving the retaliation. Even Yungeen Ace's right-hand man shared on Instagram an old tweet from King Von which reads, "Game over, we won, stupid." Now, due to the song disses and Instagram disses back and forth, it was easy for the police to understand who did the crime. They literally came out and said that it was music videos that caused it all.
The drill rappers.
You have drill down here.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a Chicago thing.
No, man, it's down here too, man. And the thing about it is we like to run them out of town. Like, there's a couple of them that they know they can't live here anymore. There was a particular song, what's Vanessa Carlton? What's the name of that song? It's real catchy, everybody likes it. Yeah, 1,000 Miles. They sampled her song, and then they made a song, a rap to it. And they were talking about people that actually been in Jacksonville. About 5 or 6 of them, right? They named in that song?
They did name it.
But that's what drill rap is. It's nonsense, but it's impactful because they're talking about people that have actually been, those people have parents, they have mothers, they have fathers, they have brothers and sisters that feel the effects of what's going on. They think it's a joke.
But it's on the last page of the new evidence report from the police that shares exactly why Foolio passed away. 1 month before Foolio passed, he did an interview speaking on the beef in Jacksonville. He revealed there was a song that was supposed to be made with both groups trying to stop the crime against each other.
No record. Y'all probably didn't know this. Even though I said what I said, bro. Me and Breezy supposed to be doing a Stop the Violence song. We probably gonna get that shit in motion. So I want to get that shit out the way for the kids, for the youth and shit. And yeah, we gotta make this look better, man.
You and Breezy have a Stop the Violence record coming.
Yeah, that shit, it's talked about. I DM'd him about it. My big cousin wrote him about it too. He said he with it, I'm with it. But basically right now we trying to find a beat.
As the feds noted, they believe Yungeen Ace's crew pretended to be nice with Foolio so then he would let his guard down, which he definitely did by posting 40 Instagram stories of his location on his birthday, and they were able to get him very easily. But then it was noted about the passing of Yungeen Ace's best friend, ATK Mitch. Now in April 2022, officers saw Julio Foolio driving a Dodge Durango with an illegal window tint. They pulled Foolio over to ask questions when suddenly a prosecutor showed up. Now things got very odd. The prosecutor even searched Foolio's vehicle illegally, and he was forced to tell the officers who he was. After hearing who Foolio was, he was taken into the police patrol car and he was questioned about the passing of ATK Mitch.
All right, so I ain't want to bring it up. I know you're gonna be upset. Mitch, there's some texts I want to talk to you real quick about what happened to Mitch.
How long that's gonna take?
Not that long, depends on you. They just gonna ask what you know about what happened.
Once he was then taken into the police car and driven to the police station, he knew that he would be quickly questioned and interrogated on ATK Mitch.
I used to call to my mama's house. I used to stay on the corner.
he would come over there, show his, you know what I'm saying, support.
What type of work do you do? What type
I'm an artist.
You're an artist. Okay. As far as mix go, what are you hearing?
Nah, really, I was in Miami when I heard the news. You know what I'm saying? I was down making music, and I saw posting on Instagram, mix. Everybody, the whole Jacksonville, mix.
The detectives then started to look more into who Foolio was to ATK Mitch and how they knew each other. So they would end up asking Foolio where he was at the time of Mitch's passing.
All right, the reason why I'm here, I am lead on your friend's case.
Ooh.
You didn't have a friend that just recently got killed?
A lot of friends that,
Recently? Mitch?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm lead on that. I don't know how close you guys were. Can you kind of give me just rundown on y'all relationship when y'all met? How long y'all been partners or whatever?
The detectives had nothing on Foolio, but they knew that he was involved with ATK Mitch's passing. So they would fish for any information they could get from him, but Foolio continues to tell the detectives he doesn't know anything about it.
Guys, if you may know or hear something, then that'd be helpful as well. Because if you know his mom, you can sit up there and call his mom, then I'm pretty sure you would want her to have some answers as well.
Oh, my little brother, I don't know who did. I don't know. I ain't here. That's what I'm saying. You will never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No, I just heard it. They say, little bro got. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Miami at the time, though.
You ain't tired of that, man?
Yeah, but I'm none of this.
Foolio would continue shutting down any involvement with ATK Mitch. So they would then ask Foolio why his music is related to so much crime in the area.
Do you think that your music or your ways or the way you conduct yourself through your music had anything to do with him?
Nah, because even before I was rapping, it was, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say it's my music, that's why somebody, you get what I'm saying?
Okay, do you think it influenced someone or triggered someone, like the way y'all going back and forth with it? Do you feel that way?
Nah, a song can't make no do nothing, bro.
As with the police finally revealing this to the public, Charleston White would react, saying Foolio deserved what happened to him because of the lifestyle that he lived.
And everybody saying, man, what you think about this? Well, all I'm gonna say is, man, that works hard to die. He earned this here. And goddamn it, should nobody be sad? Way that lived and talk gangster, should nobody be sad what did happen to Foolio? One thing we know about it, he didn't go to heaven.
That ain't good, wasn't it?
Yeah, now one thing about it, he ain't in heaven. Nah, wait, that boy, he had all the time in the world to apologize to them people. He was going to the graveyard, rapping at the graveyard. Man, that was making people mama cry. It's some people relieved, wiping their forehead saying, "Ooh, Lord, thank you." And then there's some people crying, saying, "Oh, we gonna miss one leg, one foot."
Arguably the richest rapper in the industry is Diddy, who also committed very serious crimes, who is now looking at facing prison time. New evidence proves Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million, because the news wrote, Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's passing after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing. They also shared this photo that was taken on November 18th, 1995, where Tupac was photographed with Sean Diddy Combs' baby mom, Sarah Chapman. Diddy has described Sarah as being the one, his dream girl. So when she got with Tupac, Diddy did not like it. This is what resulted in his first attempt of getting Tupac.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
Now, his first attempt was a failure, but he would try again. In the Diddy trial, it was announced, former LAPD cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated then by having Biggie dealt with, as Diddy hired a man named Keffe D to get Tupac. After 20 years, Keffe D would finally get arrested, and he would quickly snitch on Tupac, as in one police interrogation, he didn't know he was being recorded, and he confessed Diddy was the lead man of the crime.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at? Every one. Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
As Keffe D said everything was Diddy's wish and that it was a lot easier than he thought it would be, which ties into the report of historian Jeff Pearlman, who wrote the Tupac biography, claims Tupac wasn't as tough as he portrayed and he was just playing a role, saying that he couldn't fight and didn't even know how to use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
As even more evidence would be shared, revealing that Tupac was actually an industry plant with a job of stopping the beef between the red and blue street teams, but then got caught up in a gangster lifestyle.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
These would hit news headlines extremely fast. 50 Cent would react on stage.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I always say the wrong thing. Last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the shit I'm saying. I said crazy shit. No reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
As with this going viral online, many fans would even share this very awkward interview by The Breakfast Club with Diddy, where he would be called out for being responsible for Tupac's passing.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
However, the feds would then reveal even more evidence files, and when you investigate through them, it proves that Diddy didn't act alone. In case you missed it, the news wrote, the reinvestigation of Tupac's passing is revealing new names and evidence of those involved. One new name brought up is Suge Knight. As according to the police record, it reads, Detective Russell Poole suspected that Suge Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label, then framing the rival Blue Street team to throw off investigators, which raises a very important question of who's a famous Blue team member that Suge Knight would pin Tupac's passing on, with the most famous in the world being Snoop Dogg. His file is even more interesting when you learn he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac on the night it occurred.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop Dogg mentions, he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last-minute changes, he didn't go. This was likely due to an altercation Snoop had with Tupac and Suge just a few days prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
As with all of this happening within 72 hours of Tupac's passing, it made the police very suspicious. 2 decades ago, Snoop Dogg was heavily tapped into the streets with Diddy. Some speculate Snoop could have received a tip by Diddy that Tupac was going to be targeted on that night, so he avoided on getting in the car. As the feds even found another interview where Snoop claimed 2 days before the passing, he felt like Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of, and I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, shot at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
But with the police questioning Diddy, they would have to create an entire evidence file on exactly how Tupac passed away, as Keffe D would share every single detail, and here's what he said. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over, they spotted an op in the lobby of the arena.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keffe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keffe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
However, Keffe D would later expose the op that they spotted in the lobby of the arena was actually planted there to be a scout, looking for Diddy and waiting for him to leave. That way they could see what car they get into. Security broke up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops. Tupac and Suge headed back to their hotel to change, then off to a club to go party it up at around 11 p.m. With the ops knowing what car they were driving, they tailed them for the entire drive. As when the two began driving to the club, things would go down right in the middle of the street. When Tupac got stopped at a red light, the ops knew this was their chance.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keffe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
With the case being cold for over 2 decades, Keffe D would then share everything, such as the moments of finding Tupac and literally pulling up on him to do the crime.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was going to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
He would then even explain how it happened so fast, all because Tupac was seen starting to reach for his own firearm, which led into the man sitting in the back seat of Keffe D's car doing the crime.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
As while Keffe D explained the entire passing, he would then share his own reaction to it, wishing that it never happened.
Yeah, I hate it happened, dog. You know, I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate it happen. Probably to God. I feel they should, you know, That was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. Wish it never happened, dude.
With Keffe D now going viral online, sharing the truth about Tupac's passing, he would want to capitalize off it. He would then release a never-before-seen police interrogation on the night it happened, where police knew that he was involved, but still just let him go.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the line.
Back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window.
But this is where the story gets very weird. The police created a second file on Tupac, but this time with evidence relating to him still being alive. Now let me explain, because even Suge Knight said it himself. He revealed Tupac was apparently doing fine in the hospital before passing. He said in quote, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. So I don't see how someone can turn from doing so well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird about this is that Tupac was supposedly in a very deep sleep when arriving to the hospital. So how in the world would he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was unconscious? It doesn't seem to add up. However, in a 2008 interview, Suge Knight said the exact same thing, that Tupac was alive and living well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
But what's even crazier is, there's another artist in the game that says Tupac is still alive. Meet the rapper named Treach. Treach and Tupac were very close friends back in the day. They even worked on a few albums together, but here's where it gets weird. Treach was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before a concert. Treach responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba, but he only said this after he saw the interviewer placing his camera onto the floor and turning the mics off, or so he thought."
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
Then, only 2 weeks later, a video was released onto a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back. He's trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
But the weirdest of them all is what happened to Suge Knight Jr., Suge's son. In 2018, Suge Knight Jr. took it to Instagram stating that Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia. After Suge Jr. posted this, he then posted another photo to Instagram showing a text conversation where someone said, "You have said too much, it's now time for you to go." Suge Jr. began posting several photos of Tupac alongside modern day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. He made it seem like someone was going after him for leaking all this info, as on the photo with Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." While some believe it was a publicity stunt for Suge Jr. to gain social media clout, others believe that it was all factual. Suge Jr. would be the one to know more about the case than anyone else in the world, considering who his father is, but Suge Knight Jr. has also not posted on social media since doing this, mysteriously disappearing from online. But comment down below what you believe. Did Diddy have Tupac dealt with, or is Tupac still alive? And leave a like on the video if you missed Tupac. Even though Young Thug just got released from jail, he is now going back.
You guys are flying. You're going over 100 miles an hour down the metro.
Can I please get a warning? Please. But if I was a cop and a person told me, I'll be like, I might have slapped him like, and I want to give you.
I don't want to slap
so fucking bad. But you told me that your license, you just got your license back. I ain't gonna get your license.
I've seen one too many bodies.
I promise I won't do it again.
I've seen one too many bodies, man. You know how many of those
Young Thug has been making terrible decisions right now, not only breaking his probation and his lyrics, but also exposing a woman police officer. Due to this, the feds are revoking his probation.
What Young Thug did to have and this is how you know this 4PF is real.
Young Thug posted the woman. This is Marissa Vivierdo. He said, biggest liar in the DA office. He posted her, okay? And then he also reposted, all my homies hate Vivierdo. Now, this is someone who is a officer of the law. This is someone who is a government official. When you do that and you're under probation, the government is going to be like, oh, you sending a smoke signal that people should hurt this woman? That's why they're doing a motion to revoke his shit. Why did he do this? Because she's testifying in the OMF case, and she's basically saying, yo, OMF and 4PF, Lil Baby and them, they're beefing and is dying, and indictments finna come down.
Due to this, the news wrote, the state of Georgia has filed a motion to revoke Young Thug's probation and send him back to jail. As on top of it, they're gonna be using his recent lyrics against him, where Young Thug raps in the song Money on Money, these guys telling for nothing, and I gotta be the one calling them friends, where he would diss Gunna for snitching out of the YSL RICO trial and then speak about it in an interview.
I just like to help people, you know.
One of those artists was Gunna. You guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah, I know everybody wondering that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
It also didn't help that Young Thug just tweeted, if you are a rapper and you're a rat, you just gotta go gospel, twin. This went viral online because of one person's reply. They tweeted, you are literally not even legally allowed to rap about gangster stuff anymore, bro. You go do gospel. This gathered 100,000 likes and 3 million views, but unfortunately with how viral it went, it got the police attention, which is then when the news wrote, Young Thug's legal trouble continues to bother him. Atlanta police target him well after being released from jail. One fan's reaction to those lyrics read, I'm sorry, but there's no way Young Thug stays out of jail while also being a rapper. The lyrics you need to use to keep fans engaged on songs breaks his probation every single time. Academics already predicted this all happening over 7 months ago. When it was announced, Academics speaks on Young Thug getting released, but he says the stipulations are a setup for the court to put Young Thug back into jail, explaining how it's all a setup for Thug to eventually fail his 15 years of probation, then be sentenced to 20 years in prison without a trial.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is activity. Well, he's always gonna talk about him and his is doing his thing. They might consider that activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the game. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
But this is then when the Fed's real plan on what they're going to do about Young Thug was leaked. As it was announced, Black 100 says he has 2 hours of footage of Gunna telling on Young Thug in an interrogation room, making many believe the Feds are going to be getting ready for another YSL case.
Hey Gunna, listen. I'm putting it together. I'm gonna give you some time. I don't know, 24 hours, 12 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 1 hour. I don't know. I'm gonna give you some time though, Gunna, for you to go ahead on and confess. Confess to the world about all the telling you did. You know that interrogation? Yeah, guess who got it? 2 hours? Boy, you was in there talking more than Hurricane Katrina. The only thing he did wrong was let him record him. You know what I'm talking about.
as the fans investigated through the Fed files and they found all of the unused evidence against Young Thug, plus all of the new probation violation evidence was in an updated file, meaning they're getting ready to use it, and I'm about to share it with you right now. They have on record in quote, Young Thug was released for 1 week. He then tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats," with the name Wham referring to Lil Baby, as Young Thug dissed Gunna 1 week into being released. Lil Baby responded to Young Thug on Instagram saying, "We should." The following day later, Thug tweeted, "Gunna, stop acting like we're friends on the internet. I don't know you." This got the attention of Gunna and his brother, where Gunna's brother replied, "Trust and believe, the feeling is mutual." Later on that night, Young Thug linked up with T.I., posting on an Instagram story where Thug clearly says that he is home and that he did it the right way, sneak dissing Gunna once again.
Hey man, what you gotta tell these people? Back. Back, Jack. You feel me? You did. Hey man, ain't no cap in it. No cap in my rap. You feel what I'm saying? The right way. It's time. The right way, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Right way. Yeah, that way. Yeah. And go tell that.
Letting Gunna know that Thug did it the right way out. T.I. even took Young Thug's side. Fans were spamming Young Thug to stop the trolling and dissing towards Gunna, as it won't legally end well for him, as his probation is very strict. But later on that night, Young Thug didn't care. He would hop in the studio flexing his jewelry, looking happy to be home.
Yeah, that's some pounds, Pete. I'm gonna show me away, Pete. You go pound. Go pound. Go make bag. In that bag.
But the trolling, it would not end here. Academics would just so happen to get information that Young Thug was making several calls in jail to other rappers, telling them all to avoid Gunna.
The streets are so atrocious. Young Thug told everybody that Gunna was a snitch. I'm telling you this, I don't give a if you believe me. That's what he sent to. Or he sent a message to Durk, Baby. There's a few other rappers, I just won't call their names, just because some of them just told me in privacy. All of them rappers start not f***ing with Gunna, speaking out, they're chilling away. Thug got out, Gunna kinda hot. Ain't like you're trying to really jump and work with Gunna, but
as fans would be quick to point out who would just randomly leak this to DJ Academics, fans believe it was Thug wanting the information out in the public, but he legally just couldn't say it himself due to his probation. So with Young Thug doing continuous disses and trolling towards Gunna, Gunna finally responded. He did so throughout his lawyer, where he would say, "I was Gunna's attorney, but I am not speaking on his behalf. This long post is solely to set out the truth. Gunna did not cooperate and did nothing and said nothing to affect Young Thug's case."
And you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrant and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
He spent 8 months in jail and he was released in December 2022 after entering an Alford plea. Gunna's plea deal was not and could not be used in Thug's trial. He wasn't even named as a witness. He received a 5-year suspended sentencing with no reporting, no travel restrictions, and no living restrictions. And last of all, no probation. Over the last 2 years, from media reports, he has performed from all around the world, achieved international fame and recognition, and earned millions of dollars. Conversely, Thug went to trial and eventually pled guilty in Nolo after spending 30 months in jail. He received 15 years probation with reporting conditions and is not even allowed to live in Atlanta. Those that have and continue to badmouth Gunna, get over it. This caused a major back and forth between YSL fans and Gunna fans, which is when a tweet went viral reading, "Once you'll learn the effects of Gunna snitching in that YSL trial, then you'll realize why Thug and Baby will never be cool with him again. Go learn," which is when an evidence file was linked to the back and forth. And I'm about to teach you it all right now, as it's very bad. The Atlanta police wrote, "The head of Georgia's PD Counsel's unit says the office is preparing to defend against a potential Fort PF RICO, with the official paperwork name-dropping Lil Baby's name. But what's even scarier is at the court hearing today, the police even mentioned new evidence. An investigator wrote, "An investigator is on the stand. We are listening to a wiretap call. Someone mentioned Lil Baby had tickets tickets on people's head. This means Lil Baby placed money on people to be dealt with, similar to Lil Durk's M for Hire.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Them got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unk, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unk.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harm. Or
and who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones had wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
This resulted in rappers quickly reacting. Snoop Dogg even tweeted, "First Young Thug, now Lil Baby, is being played by that Atlanta DA. Y'all rappers be careful out there." As the news wrote, Lil Baby has been taken into county jail for questioning on the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Police questioned why he closed Fort BF after the crime took place.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of two teen-year-olds, and a $50,000 reward is being offered for more information. So far, 7 people have already been arrested.
Between the bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come by my tacos up.
As ultimately, this is a little bit of Lil Baby's fault. It was announced, Lil Baby reveals he ended his record label Fort BF to avoid it being labeled as a street team, as the man closed his street team during a police investigation.
First 4 pockets full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because it's all shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't. Right. Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, no, it's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
But what's even crazier is that DJ Academics called it again. He revealed on stream while showing the evidence file of Fort BF on a new RICO document, the same one YSL was on, almost like they're just going down the list.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
As Academics would then even go into further detail, where it's clear as day a massive RICO charge is coming his way.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fonnie Willis started targeting YSL, Fonnie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were gonna get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told them, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Durk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Durk eventually. Doing the math? You see why Lil Baby is moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county state watch.
But it's very important to know the official police record on what they'll be charging Lil Baby with, as Young Thug and Gunna get tied into it. It first reads, the Atlanta Police Department are calling out Lil Baby, saying his actions led to the passing of 2 individuals last summer. During a press conference on Wednesday, the Atlanta PD announced 7 arrests have been made in connection to the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Major Ralph stated the incidents were a part of an incident that happened at a Lil Baby music video last May, where 3 people were injured, while also strongly saying this team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable, referring to Lil Baby.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
As Lil Baby recorded a music video on an ops block outside of a taco shop, the same lady that was featured on the news ended up telling the ops that Lil Baby were there. She posted on her Facebook, Lil Baby's at her taco shop, 3 cars deep, recording a music video.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking it. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. We don't know how we do it at Slapping Taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up, cause you already know how he doing this Slapping Tacos, baby.
As according to police, the ops weren't even aware Lil Baby was there filming. It was actually her Facebook video that got the attention, making them all pull up with firearms. But what's scary is the feds are blaming Lil Baby. As according to the Whack 100 video I shared earlier, he claims that Gunna was in the interrogation room for 2 hours. Fans believe that he shared information about Lil Baby's crimes to also help himself get released, as Lil Baby got arrested.
I need 20 bands, call his number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call his number for me. They locking me up for a but I got license. Security, I give you 200 bands a year, I swear to God, security. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 9:10. Nah, check me good, I got a in my nuts. Check me good, you on the camera, I got a in my nuts, check me good. I gotta go. Alright, y'all let me that car shoot myself in the head. Y'all fired.
But did you know that Fetty Wap is also currently in jail? So is K-Flock, Kodak, Fabio Foreign, Who Shiesty, Tory Lanez, TSU Surf, and even Quando Rondo. Comment down below the rappers that I missed and leave a like if you're a fan of rap music.